elbow straight. That's it. Yes, yes.
Hey, it's Carrie. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. So today's video is me answering the question, are there trails around Puerto Vallarta that are worth running? I'd heard of this waterfall and wanted to go check it out. So I'm in Puerto Vallarta today. The adventure of the day is going to be to go and find a waterfall that's kind of an obscure location. Usually they say you need a guide, but I'm usually not very good trying to find a guide or do something that I think I can do myself. I found a map on Wikiloc, which I'm doing a quick trial of to see how it works. It should get me to the waterfall and back, but I've got to get past the Malecón here, the walkway, and jump on a bus that'll take me down the coast a little ways towards that side and then go up in the mountains from there. So it's a bit of an unknown. I got some water, I got a bit of food, got a bit of money, pretty much all I need. Brought my GoPro. We'll see how it goes today. So it's very quiet in Puerto Vallarta at the moment because of the ongoing pandemic. Not that many people down here, but surprisingly the safety precautions in Mexico are much greater than I found either in Canada or the US recently. So might arguably be a safer place to be than some of the other parts of the world right now. One of the cool things about this Malecón is they have a ton of interesting art and sculpture on it, like this little selection up here of chairs with feet and boobies and all kinds of different features. I like the octopus one up here. Each one is a bit of a work of art. They have that beautiful cathedral there, and again, more artwork. I really like that about this place. There's inlaid stone in the sidewalk the whole way. It's gorgeous. The town part is referred to as the romantic zone, and tons of vendors, restaurants, things like that. It's a very gay-friendly community here as well. So we've got a pretty lively bunch. Just trying to find the place where the bus leaves from, which would be kind of nice. But as you can see, you can get any type of t-shirt you want here. Found the right place to jump on the bus. The local bus shouldn't cost that much, but I will jump on board and jump off at Mismaloya. Buenos días. Gracias. 10 pesos, 50 cents. Off the bus at Mismaloya, heading up the road towards the zoo, and then passing that and looking for the waterfall trail a little beyond that. So traveling into the unknown today. It is a very cobblestone-y path. Tons of dogs around too. So the zoo up here is very much a trip. If I recall correctly, when I used to be here, you can wander around and hand feed a bunch of the animals. I'm not sure how that works out in terms of the ethics, but unique in terms of a zoo experience for sure. And this is not the best of running surfaces, as you can tell. I got my street shoes on today rather than trail shoes, because when I'm traveling I try and limit it to one pair of shoes for running, and the street won out this time. Here's an awesome Mexican sidewalk. Look at that thing going up, 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 and then it just disappears. Oh my gosh. It is nice to get off the beaten path in places like Puerto Vallarta, and this is off the beaten path. Entrance to the Zoológico de Vallarta, and Don't know if it's actually open. Well, the gate appears to be open, and there's a couple of vehicles, but they might just be caretakers. I imagine it probably is open, but hard to say sometimes. This is where the improved road ends and it turns to dirt. General uphill dirt road, sort of cut out. Good bit of erosion going on. I'm gonna try and do a bit of a loop instead of an out and back. So, trail's unknown. I might go up to the top first and then take the trail that's farthest away and come back on the trail that's closer, thinking that I might get a view on the way down. But this is the charm of not knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. Different kind of flora and fauna here. Look at this tree that has a secondary tree just wrapping its way up like a candy cane. So beautiful. Resort up here called El Eden Eco Park. There's a sign there that says, "Caution, predator area." While I'm sure there are actual predators around here, I think that is also a sign that's played up for the tourists pretty strongly. We are going along next to this river, which is down there in the valley, and the first turnoff is just up here somewhere. So I'd like to put my eyes on it so I know where it is, and then I'll know roughly how long it takes to get back to the street, how long it takes to get back to town, and back to my lovely wife. Our friend Bonnie is arriving today and coming from the airport, so I don't want to be too late getting back. So this is the shape of the run. I've passed the first entry onto the trail, that long straight line above, and I got to follow all these wiggles and squiggles down to there, and then back on the route to the right and on top. To this sign, and it looks like I abandon the dirt road and go down, but it's hard to say exactly looking at the map. So we will see if I'm on or not. I might have to go back. I'm feeling we'll get a good bit of up and down, but I think there's going to be almost 4,000 feet of gain and descent on this trail, but the trail is freaking raked. Look at this. Someone has done some work on this. This must be the resort working on it. So, looking for indication that I'm on the right trail. I think because I'm near the road and this eco resort thing, there's going to be more choices. Yeah, I mean, that looks like a four-wheeler track. This looks like the hiking track. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit serpentine for a while. So, just sort of trusting trail sense, and I'll check the GPS every now and then. It looks like I'm heading the wrong way, because off the road, I'm the orange line. I took a right. It looks like I should take a left, but sometimes you only know that by taking the first couple hundred meters of a trail to figure that out. So, yay! The important thing is catching it sooner rather than later, not getting too much elevation done. I was pretty suspicious at just how groomed this trail was, because it's not really what I'm looking for. It's interesting, in places like this, people just take dirt from where they can, and maybe you can see just to the top of my glasses there, there's what appears to be stairs. So I think this is the trail, and the resort has kind of blocked it off so that it's hard to find, so that nobody knows it's here, probably because this is a free excursion rather than a paid excursion. But yeah, here's the trail, and here are the stairs, which are now going to be super dicey, just hanging out over this cliff. So yeah, there's a smart person trail up this way, because you can see it starting to separate there. Scary stuff. Is what I was hoping for. A seldom traveled single track trail through the jungle up into the mountains. This is ideal. Yay, happy carry. A little bit of vandalism on the beautiful tree. Hola. Definitely unnecessary to tag trees in the wilderness. So, this path, I gotta say, I like it. Wow. It is straight up and down pixie sticks here. Pickup sticks, rather. This ridge with a big drop on this side and a big drop on this side. And a trail that's kind of been worn into the side of the hill. I like this. This might be the best trail I found around Puerto Vallarta. A little bit of scat. I saw, oh yeah, actually right here too. You see all of the bird feathers. So some type of predator for sure lives here. They would eat some kind of berries and some kind of birds. I heard some disturbance up in the canopy. It sounded like a huge bird, but I am not sure. So just sort of pay attention to what's around as I go. Fairly steep hike. Right now it's probably, mid 80s in temperature and quite humid, so I'm sweating, but excuse me, this is February, so not as bad as it would be in summer. Summer would be enormously hot. Voices. Somebody's on the trail. Hey, hey. Didn't mean to scare you.
How are you, my friend?
Good, how are you?
Not bad.
Wow, beautiful.
Very nice place, huh?
Yeah, super nice.
Where you come from the den or from the
Over
road?
there. Yeah.
Oh, I see the juices in
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Just here to take a look
At the view?
the view exactly.
So that's Mismaloya down there, yeah? Yeah.
Mismaloya.
Huh. And then I think this might be
Where are you going to the Cascadas?
Go to the waterfall, yeah.
Waterfalls.
Yeah.
Not too far here.
No, I think it's okay.
It's okay.
What's your name?
Ubaldo, you?
Juvaldo?
Ubaldo, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto, Carrie.
Mucho gusto.
Yeah,
Carrie.
okay. Nice
Are
to meet
come
you.
alone or something?
Yeah, on my own.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah. Should be fun.
This is fun, yeah.
I don't have a giant machete like you though. Look at that.
This is, well, necessary sometimes.
Are you coming
My
up this one?
wife coming, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife.
Hello. Hola. Another overlook. You can see ocean and the edge of Puerto Vallarta over there. I suspect we're going to be on that ridge on the way back, but I don't know. Turned into less jungle, more arid scrub here, but still solid uphill, which is nice to find. It'll be easier going down for sure. I'll be able to make better time, but I'm enjoying this. Discovering different flora and fauna. Look at this beauty. Wow. I haven't seen a plant like that. Whew. A lot of stuff has spikes on it, and the spikes can be kind of spicy if you grab onto something, so be aware. Decent views along this spine, including down there to where I started, Mismaloya. Tons of whales and things out there too. I was talking about things I like to do with my wife the other day. Most often it includes other people. I'm social. I like being with people. It gives me energy and it gives me a sense of fun and shared spirit. But when I'm on my own, I also have a pretty good time. But having the camera with me and a story to tell helps out a little bit, because in some way I feel like I'm sharing. And my videos, if you've watched them before, as you know, are pretty long form. Not tons of editing, no music or fancy cuts and cinematography much. And there's a certain group that like that. Well, I would be curious to hear if you'd be up for me making like the short, punchy version of some of these and seeing if they might get more viewers. Because I've got a modest number of subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate if you did. That'd be great. And leave a thumbs up on the video. That's also always appreciated. It makes a difference to folks who make content like I do. Look at this. Wow. Does not suck. Oh yeah. Who doesn't love a trail like this? Trail is just worn in to the rocks, sort of crumbling granite. Oh wow. This is a great Vallarta view here. A whole lot drier at the top, and now we're heading down into the valley again. I think we got to do one more climb after this. But the ground is kind of like busted up rocks and kitty litter. Just not a bad running surface. We are approaching the spot where on the way back I'll take a slightly different route, I think. So continues to be Mr. Toad's Wild Ride running down here, and I think we're heading up there and then down, and I think the waterfall is going to be down in a valley over there. May not be a huge amount of flow because it's not really that time of year, but I expect there should be some water. We will see. And I've been following what appears to be one set of tracks. These I've seen for a ways. A couple others, but that seems to be one that maybe there's with one other person, but that's the most distinct set, so could be somebody up there. A few different trails right here. This one is pretty wicked. It is eroded terribly, so you kind of want to get in, ow, or out like that. Every now and then you fall on your butt in a place like that. That was mine. Everything's good, but maybe a little elbow scrape. That's it. Yeah, well, I just want to get blood on my shorts. I see our objective right there. So we'll probably come up in this waterfall valley section, go along and then come back down in. Wow, that's cool. Look at the size of that huge termite nest built onto the thing. Probably 3 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. Filled with little bugs. I know because I've sat near them on occasion and been covered with them. So my little scrape on the elbow, I washed it off. I probably wouldn't have been scraped at all, except I have two things in my hand, the GoPro and my phone. I usually like to have on an adventure like this shorts with a pocket to put the phone, but I don't have that today. I've got these Lululemon pants with a liner, which are pretty good for running, but day adventures when I'm recording or taking a lot of pictures and running on technical trails, I prefer pockets. But scrape on the elbow is a small price to pay for the experience of today. That's my philosophy anyway. This is quite the descending path. It's very slidey and rooty, as you can see, and it just heads straight down the cut on this arete. Very technical, but not too ridiculous. Be a decent climb up too, but not intimidating. None of this path so far has been that bad. So as long as you've got some decent endurance, you should be able to get out here, in my opinion. Wow. In the actual stream now, heading up to the waterfall. It looks like there's a pathway on both sides. I'll stick to the side I came in on, see what it's like. Gonna have a quick dip, check out the waterfall, and then hustle on back on a slightly different trail. So I'm so pleased to have found these trails, because as a trail runner, I didn't think there was that much around here. But this is quality. All right, there's a wall here, so we're on the other side, heading up, looking for a pathway to the waterfall area. We're not far away, but here's a path right here. Perfect. That's what I like to see. The people. Wow, it's a whole group. Look at that. How you guys doing?
Arroyo way.
Nice camping trip.
Thank you.
The trail up here? See? Gracias. Look at this. Making
Making a soap.
¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda?
soap.
Soap. Marishan.
It's the whole Lost Boys crew. When I was a kid, I would totally be doing that. Hiking out here with no adults, bringing some noodles, starting a fire. That is fantastic and good to see. Nice pool here. Looks like you could jump off, but save it for another day when I'm not by myself. Looks like you have to clear a little ways first and not hit the rock. So it looks like there's two cascades. There's one right here and one up there. I'm guessing the one up there requires grabbing onto a line and pulling up a little ways. So that looks like a cool part. We will see. Probably a little bit of exposure, but nothing too horrendous. Let's go and check out the first of the cascades. Look at this. A little earlier in the day. Right now it's almost 2. So a little earlier in the day we would have had sun for it, which would have been nice. Wow. That is so refreshing when there's moving water somewhere like this. Wow, wow. I'm looking forward to getting into the water, but I'll try and do it up top. The line, if that's it, but I would say it's not really necessary here. There's got to be one higher up. This just isn't quite worth it. Although scrambling along there, maybe. Ooh. Oh wow, another one. I don't know what that's for exactly. Maybe just to avoid flying down here. Too bad. Wow. There's our swimming hole. Super nice. So warm on the way over, and then you get here and you get the cold, mist-filled wind, and it is a little chilly. I'm definitely going in, but I expect to be shivering when I get out. So warm on the way over, and then you get here and you get the cold, mist-filled wind, and it is a little chilly. I'm definitely going in, but I expect to be shivering when I get out. Swap batteries on this thing too, because I've killed a GoPro battery. A little sun spot right there to go and check out, and there's a little sunny perch there which you can check out, but this is really, really nice. All right, new battery in. Gonna pop it into the housing, which is broken, by the way. GoPro That is definitely a weak spot on your design. All right, here we go. Let's see how bad it is. It's cold, and there's strong wind. But man, you got to do it. You just got to do it. Funny how much wind is created just by falling water. Woo. This is actually amazing. The sun would be great in the summer. Woo! Sweaty and salty. This kind of place is totally my bliss. Look at this. Nobody here. We saw a couple kids on the trail, a couple locals going for a hike, but nobody here. This is great. Definitely have to work to get here, but so worth it. So worth it. Wow. Okay, 2:12. I gotta get back in 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours if I can. So I'll be running it back, bombing it back as best I can. Look at the kids have made some soup. It is the worst soup ever. Terrible soup.
No, it's the soup traditional for the kids.
Right here is the kids
Right
soup.
here, traditional.
That's right. Have a good one. Amazing flowers here. Look at these things. Just coming down from a tree up there, falling down to the ground. It's like a gorgeous orchid, and they're just falling from up high down all over the place. Look at these. That is nice. Well, it's a solid 15-minute climb out of the river gully and then back up to the ridge. Looking back now, I can see both waterfalls we were at. It's a good up and down though. More beautiful flowers. I don't know if you can tell how purple the middle of those is. On little creeper vines. Look at the color on this amazingly spiky tree that you do not want to grab onto as you're running down the trail. Some calories. One cool thing they do in Mexico right now is they put these big black labels: excess calories, excess sugar, excess saturated fats. It looks like a moon pie, the Zax thing, but it's not. It has sort of a wafer, chocolate covered, and then there's a wafer with that Dolorosa peanut stuff in there. Really good trail calories. And somehow it doesn't melt. So I meant to turn off. That's the trail. I'm gonna jump on there and try and pound it out. Way less traveled. A little stream passing along, which is kind of nice. They have all these ferns and sort of luscious plants around the little gullies where water's flowing. So I don't know if this is going to be faster or not. Definitely less people on it. It's kind of a barely there trail, but nice to see something different. It's an interesting trail. It's kind of labyrinth around. There's different routes. It's sort of like a river. Splits here, gets back together, and it's covered with sort of a nice sand. You get to moments like this where you think, okay, could be right, but could be left. So use your spidey senses to suss it out and keep checking your GPS if you have one. But it's very runnable. The sections that aren't all eroded and steep. Ow! Something just hit my hand. It was pretty spiky. The transition from dry and arid to a little bit more wet and jungly, which is kind of nice. Just above another little creek or waterway, which is right here. Whenever you get to a place like this, there's always different choices. Trying to find the trail on the way out is a bit of an adventure. Oh yeah. Oh, taking a minute to empty crap out of my shoes and wash my arms and my face. Got a bunch of dust and debris on there, but happy to take a minute when we've got a nice water course like this. So nice. Actually a spot where two sets of little creeks come together. So it's a confluence. It looks like I'm on a trail again. I'll check it again in a few minutes to make sure I'm actually on the line, because when you come into a place like this, there are inevitably multiple choices. I don't want to get in the wrong one right now. Keep hitting these spider webs that cross the trail. Oh, there's a spider too. And rather he didn't come up, rather he went down. It's one of the hazards of being on a trail that nobody else is on, is the spider webs cross the trail to catch the insect. Oh, there's another one. And the runners. So it's always in my face. Sometimes the spiders are pretty good size, sometimes they're small. Never had a problem with this, even though in a couple places, Australia, parts of Mexico, and others, there are some freaking massive spiders across the trail that you do not want to mess with, but they haven't been bad today. And Big ate this thing here. Looks like a turkey buzzard or something. But look at the size of these, man. These are freaking huge. That was a good feast for something in this jungle. Well, continue onward. Enjoying very much the variety on the trail. Just trying to figure out, pick my way down. Hard to sometimes interpret where the trail is exactly. And crossing a little stream again. This is total Lost World style area. Beautiful, huge ferns and palm trees and these fantastic huge hardwoods with the roots that go every direction. Wow. We are basically right on the road, but slightly off the trail. So maybe this puts us back on. The last little sections are often the most frustrating to try and follow. Now this heads down. I think I just got to get down to the road. And there should be a couple different ways to do it. But trying to find the most path-like way can be a challenge. Oh yeah, this looks like it heads out somewhere. Yeah, trash. And look at that, the road. Woo! And make a mental note of where this is because it's not that easy to find. Right there, right past the private property no pasar. But we skirted the edge of the fence the whole way, so I think we're good. Now it's just a run back. So I started this hike with a GPX track. It's seldom done this trail, so there's not that much info about it. All Trails has a route, but didn't feel like subscribing for 28 bucks. WikiLoc, which also had a trail and a 2-week free trial. I tried, and I popped it open on the phone a couple times. It crashed at least 3 times, so I won't be keeping WikiLoc, but it gave me the ability to download the GPX track, which was extremely helpful. Enabled me to do a lollipop loop instead of out and back, which I like. But they got to work with their software a little bit. I used OSM to track the GPX file and just check to make sure I was on. That's a reliable one that uses almost 0 battery, so I like it. Hey, how's it going? How are you guys doing? The first vehicles, and one of them's a horse. Back in the town area. Kids playing in the street. Just getting back to the main road. A little trombone action there. This is the bus stop up here as well, so I'll just get on the first vehicle coming through and head back. What a nice run. Back on the bus, heading back to PV. Fun fact, just got back to Puerto Vallarta from the bus, jumped in the store, get a little bit of liquid. I drank about 2 liters of water today, and I had half a bottle of Pocari Sweat, which is sort of like an electrolyte drink. And I got some Arizona iced tea, excess calories, excess sugar. But this, unlike the Arizona that is now sold in the United States, does not have high fructose corn syrup in it, and it actually contains honey like it used to, which is why I buy it here and not in the US. So the ingredients in Canada and the US, sometimes you get real crappy decision making in lobbying companies and food ingredients. So other countries look after their people arguably a little bit better when it comes to that sort of thing. Getting back to the hotel. Total distance will be about 16 miles. I'll take a look at the elevation and post that as well. Look at all these sculptures they've got. They're just beautiful. All up and down the Malecon. I think we're coming back for dinner to see it. Cuban place. I think we're coming for dinner at that joint. That's what she says right there. Come. Back at the hotel. Bonnie Morgan is here. Danielle is here. Good to see you.
We are here.
I'm quite sweaty. I don't know if you want to do a proper hug. This is great.
We just ordered a drink.
Hey, thanks for watching. Congrats on making it to the end. Maybe if you take a trip out to Puerto Vallarta and seek this waterfall out, post in the comments below so I know. A couple ways you can support a content provider like me. One is tune into my Instagram or my Strava. Both are linked in the description below. But the best way to support is directly through Patreon. You can sign up to be a supporter and commit a monthly amount, $1, $3, $5, $10, whatever. And again, it's the famous milk tea plan. It's like buying a coffee or a milk tea for someone like me every month to continue and go out and do these adventures. So appreciate your support. Leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, share. Go out and have an adventure. And I just wanted to give a heartfelt thanks to my current Patreon subscribers. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the support more than you will ever know.